Reading again from the book of Job, chapter 15 onwards. Chapter 15 onwards. Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite and said, should a wise man utter vain knowledge and fill his belly with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk or with speeches wherewith he can do no good? Yes, thou casteth off fear and restraineth prayer before God. For thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yes, thine own lips testify against thee. Art thou not the first man that was born, or wast thou made before the hills? Hast thou heard the secret of God, and dost thou restrain wisdom to thyself? What knowest thou that we know not? What understandest thou which is not in us? With us are both the grey head and the aged man, much elder than thy father. Are the consolations of God small with thee? Is there any secret with thee? Why did thy heart carry thee away? And why do thy eyes wink it? That thou turnest thy spirit against God, and lettest such words go out of thy mouth. What is man that he should be clean? And he who is born of a woman that he should be righteous? Behold, he putteth no trust in his saints. Yes, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water. I will show thee, hear me, and that which I have seen thee, I will declare. Which wise men have told from their fathers, and have not heard it? Unto whom alone the earth was given, and no stranger passed among them. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden to the oppressor. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness. He is waited for of the soul. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready to battle. For he stretcheth out his hand against God, and strengtheneth himself against the Almighty. He runneth unto him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of his bucklers. Because he covereth his face with his fathers. Fatness maketh collops of fat on his flanks, and he dwelleth in his desolate cities, and in houses which no man inhabit, which are ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong his perfection thereof upon the earth. He shall not depart out of the darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away. Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be given green. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the wine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. For the congregation of the hypocrites shall be desolate, and the fire shall consume tabernacles of bribery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity. Their belly prepareth deceit. Chapter 16. And Job answered and said, I have heard many things. Miserable comforters are ye all. Shall vain words have an end? Or what emboldeneth thee that thou answers? I also could speak as ye do. If your soul were in my soul's stead, I could heap up words against you and shake my head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the moving of my lips should assuage your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not a speech, and though I forbear, what am I eased? And now he has made me weary. Thou hast made me desolate, all my company, and thou fillest me with wrinkles, which is a witness against me, and my leanness rising up in me beareth witness to my face. He teareth me in his wrath, who hateth me. He gnasheth upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eyes upon me. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They have gathered themselves together against me. God has delivered me to the ungodly, and turned me over to the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he has broken me asunder. He has taken again me by the neck, shaken me to pieces, set me up for his mark. His archers compass me about. He cleaveth my reins asunder, doth not spare. He poureth out my gall unto the ground. He breaketh me with the breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant. I have sown sackcloth upon my skin, and defiled my horn in the dust. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is a shadow of death. Nor for any injustice in my hands, and also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not thou my blood. Let my cry have no place. Also now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. My friends scorn me, mine eye poureth out my tears unto God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God, as a man pleadeth for his neighbor. When a few years are come, then I shall go in the way whence I shall not return. Chapter 17. My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, and the graves are ready for me. Are there not mockers with me? And doth not my eyes continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with thee. Who is he that will strike hands with me? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding, and therefore shalt thou not exalt him. He that speaketh flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall feel. He that made me also a byword of people, and aforetime I was a temperate. Mine eye also is dim by reason of sorrow, and all my members are like a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and innocent shall stir himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also shall hold on his way. He that is clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. But as for you all, do ye return and come now? For I cannot find one wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off. Even the thoughts of my heart, they change night into day. Light is short because of darkness. If I wait, the grave is my house, and I have made my bed in darkness. I have said to corruption, thou art my father, to the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. Where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? They shall go down to the bars of the pit, when our rest together is in the dust. Chapter 18. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, How long will it be before you make an end of words? Mark, and afterwards we shall all speak. Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight? He teareth himself in anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? Shall the rock be removed out of his place? The light of the wicked shall be put out. The spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle. His candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straitened. His own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet. He walketh into a snare. The jinn shall take him by the heel. The robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and the trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Ever the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above his branch shall be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light to darkness, and chased out of the wood. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they went before were afraid. Surely there are such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. Chapter 19. Then Job answered and said, How long will ye vex me, my soul, and break me in pieces with your words? These 10 times have ye reproached me. Ye are not ashamed that ye make yourselves strange to me. And be it indeed that I have heard, mine error remaineth with myself. If ye indeed magnify yourself against me and plead against me my reproach, know now that God has overthrown me and encompassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, there is no judgment. He has fenced up my way that I cannot pass. He has set darkness in my paths. He has stripped me of my glory and taken the crown off my head. He has destroyed me on every side, and I am gone. My hope has he removed like a tree. He has also kindled his wrath against me. He counteth me unto him as one of his enemies. His troops come together and raise up the way against me, and encamp round about my tabernacle. He has put my brethren far from me, and mine acquaintance are verily estranged from me. My kinsfolk has failed, my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in my house, my maids count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I called my servant, he gave me no answer. I entreated him with my mouth. However, it is strange to my wife, though I entreated for the children's sake of mine own body. Young children despise me. I arose, and they spake against me. All my inward friends abhorred me. They whom I loved turned against me. My bone cleaved to my skin, to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity on me. Have pity on me, O my friends, for the hand of God has touched me. Why do you persecute me as God, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were now written, oh, that they were printed in a book, that they were graven with an iron pen, and laid in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God, whom I shall see for myself. Mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me. But ye should say, why persecute we him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me? Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments with the sword, that ye may know that there is judgment. Chapter 20. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite and said, therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. I have heard the check of my reproach. The spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer. Knowest not this of old, since man was placed on earth, that the trumping of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his hands reach up to the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which see him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a tree, and shall not be found. Yes, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. They also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor. His hand shall restore their goods. His bones are full of sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. The wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Yet his meat in his bowels is stirred. It is the cause of him within him. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. God shall cast him out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of us. Viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Because he has oppressed and has forsaken the poor, because he has violently taken away the house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save that which he desired. Then shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him when he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. The glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from God, his heritage appointed unto him by God. Chapter 21. But Job answered and said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations. Suffer me that I speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint to man? And if it were so, why should not my spirit be troubled? Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid, and trembling taketh hold of my flesh. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yes, are mighty in power? Their seed is established in their sight with them, their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the word of God upon them. Their bull gendereth and faileth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. They send forth the little ones like a flock. The little children dance. They take timbrel and harp, rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they said unto God, depart from us. We desire not the knowledge of the ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? What profit should we have if we pray unto him? Lo, their God is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh the destruction upon them? God distributeth sorrows in his anger. They are as a stubble before the wind, and as chaff the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth them, and he shall know it. His eye shall see his destruction. He shall drink of the wrath of his Almighty. For what pleasure has he in his house after him? And when the number of his months is cut off in his midst, shall any teach God knowledge, seeing he judgeth those that are high? One dieth in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk, his bones are moistened with marrow. And another dieth in his bitterness of his soul, and never eateth with pleasure. They shall lie down alike in the dust, and the worms shall cover them. Behold, I know your thoughts, and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, where is the house of the prince, and where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have ye not asked them that go by the way? Do ye not know the tokens, that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction? They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his weight unto his face, and who shall repay him what he has done? Yes, he shall be brought to the grave, and shall remain in his tomb. The clouds of the valley shall be sweet unto him. Every man shall draw after him, as there are innumerable before him. How then comfort ye me in vain, seeing in your answers that remaineth falsehood? Chapter 22. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, Can a man be profitable unto God, as he that is wise may be profitable unto himself? Is it any pleasure to the Almighty that thou art righteous, or is it any gain to him that thou makest thy ways perfect? Will he reprove thee for fear of thee? Will he enter in with thee into judgment? Is not thy wickedness great, thy iniquities infinite? For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. Thou hast not given water to the weary to drink, thou hast not withholden bread from the hungry. But as for a man, he had the earth, and the honorable man dwelt in it. Thou hast sent windows away empty, and the arms of the fatherless have been broken. Therefore snares are round about thee, and sudden fear troubleth thee. Of darkness that thou canst not see, and abundance of waters cover thee. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold the height of the stars, how high they are. And thou savest. How does God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of the heaven. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overflown with a flood, which said unto God, Depart from us, and what can the Almighty do for them? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. The righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent laugh them to scorn. Whereas our substance is not cut down, the remnant of them the fire consumeth. Acquaint now thyself with them, and be at peace. Thereby good shall come unto thee. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth. Lay up his words in thy heart. If thou return to the Almighty, thou be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from the tabernacles. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brooks. The Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. And then shalt thou have delight in the Almighty, and shalt lift up thy face unto God. Then shalt thou make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows. Then shalt thou decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. When men are cast down, then shalt thou say, There is lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. He shall deliver the island of the innocent, and it is delivered by the pureness of the hands.